Hey guys, it's Sydney Lene and I am back with another video. Today's video is going to be about surviving your first year in college because I just got done with mine. Here we go. I'm going to break this video down into 4 parts. One about your social life, one about your financial wealth, one about your education, and about your physical life. You know, one that's about your physicality. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start off with your social life because in college, your social life is almost as important as it is with your educational life because a lot of the next step, like after college, is connections. It's not always your education, so while you're in college, you want to make sure you make good connections. So that brings my first point, welcome week. Welcome week is amazing. There's so many free shirts and food, and you know the college is doing everything it can to impress you and all this other stuff, so it's amazing. Definitely go out and don't stay in your dorm during welcome week. Get involved in the activities and stuff. Like, I guarantee you, you're gonna get so many free t-shirts. Like me myself, I got about 9 different t-shirts for free. Free stuff is always amazing, and especially when it's a free t-shirt. So the other great thing about Welcome Week is that clubs and organizations will go out and tell you their mission and, you know, what they're about and what type of community service they do. If they do community service, some groups are just groups where like-minded individuals come and talk, you know, and you want to make sure you surround yourself with like-minded individuals sometimes. So that'll be good. Like, for example, I joined the BSU, the Black Student Union, and you know, it was kind of important for me to join because I go to a PWI, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a predominantly white institution. Now, like the school I go to, they're not bad at all, and it's not really racist or anything like that. It was just, you know, having some people who shared a similar background. You know, it was nice to be a part of that and teaching, you know, tolerance and all this, bringing light, you know, social injustices, and you know, sometimes flaws within our own community. So it was just nice being a part of a group that was about that. And I was also a part of a community service group, and it wasn't, you know, just a black group. You know, it had people from all walks of life and stuff involved in it. So make sure you join some clubs because that's where a good deal of your friends are going to come from sometimes, and you know, they meet you where you're at. The next thing you need to know socially would be, while you're meeting all these new fun, fantastic people, be careful who your friends are because the person you meet in the beginning might not be who they really are. So I would say be careful who your friends are. And also, I say that because sometimes who your friend is, people will often associate that characteristic with you. I had a friend who was, I don't really like saying this term, but she was known as a hoe, and people thought that I was one because I hung out with her, and I was like, no, I'm not actually a virgin, but like, you know, I didn't like that. So, you know, you have to make sure people know that you're not like that, but at the same time also be careful who you hang out with, you know, because I know this one guy, he had some friends and the cops pulled them over, and it turns out they had cocaine on them, and they all ended up going to jail. I mean, he was released when they found out that, you know, he was innocent, and they all told the truth that, you know, he didn't know anything about it. But still, you know, be careful you don't get caught up in a situation like that, because I would have a heart attack. I would have had a heart attack. Next, this is for the girls. These college boys, stay away, run. If you see one, run. Like, I'm just kidding, but like, a great majority of them, all they want is sex. That's all a lot of them want. There are some good guys in the mix, but you know, you really gotta look for them, like it's rare when, there's a guy that's just, all about you, doesn't want to play games and stuff like that. And so, just be careful out there. Don't trust everybody with your heart, just be very attentive. Now, I'm going to move on to the financial aspect of college. And this is something that I know everybody has struggled with. Every single college person I've talked to has struggled financially. Do not blow all your money. And don't blow through your dining dollars. Now, I don't know how, every school does it, but all I can speak of is for my school. My school, you have a set amount of money. We get $995 a semester for food, and we can spend that at, Panera or Chicken Salad Chick or whatever, and we don't have to spend our real money, even though we still pay for the dining dollars, but, it's different. And however fast or how many swipes a day you want to swipe, that is up to you. But once that money runs out, you can either add money to it by you paying for it, or you just stuck like Chuck. Now, what I found to be very helpful with that is when you find out your set amount, divide it by the weeks in the semester, and that'll tell you how much you can spend a week. And if you want to go a little extra, that can show you how much you can spend a day. I didn't do all that. I just did how much I could spend a week, and that helped me, last to the end of the semester. Yeah, another thing is set up with your parents how much they can send you, either once a month or once every 2 weeks. So that way you can kind of gauge, this is how much I got to spend. And, it's an understanding before you go to college, because I know for me, like me and my parents, we didn't do that. And I was always asking, like, hey, can I get, $30? Can I get $50? Because also the major I was in, required us to get a lot of new material. So we're going to move on to education, which is why you're there in the first place. My first thing that I have written down in all capital letters: do not sign up for at 8 a.m. You may think you're a morning person. You may think that. You may truly... Hush. You may think you're a morning person. You are not. You are not. You will be tired and you will regret it every single day. I had one friend, she was like, well, high school for me started at 7:15. Yeah, 7:15, and, we were out by a certain time, so I think it would do that. And I was like, okay, sis. I wasn't even playing with myself. I know I'm not a morning person. I still ended up with an 8 a.m. because that was the only class available, but still, like, I didn't play myself thinking I was going to survive that. I didn't make every day an 8 a.m. day. So you will regret it. Trust me, at least one time you are going to regret having an 8 a.m. Another thing, don't sit in the back of the class, because you will be more inclined to not pay attention or to goof off or fall asleep and not pay attention to what the professor says. And a lot of times professors give answers in what they say versus what they have on the PowerPoint or what they post online. Some professors don't even post, their PowerPoint online, and you just got to write everything down, so you make sure, you're staying awake and, paying attention. Another thing is, once you have attended the class and once you get back from your dorm from, your day or whatever, or if you have a break in between classes, study those notes, because scientists have proven that if you study, like, the sooner you study the notes, the more likely they're going to stick. So, like, as soon as you learn them, get back to your dorm, study those notes. That way it'll stick. It'll be more rooted in your mind. Study each subject for 30 minutes a night. Each subject, 30 minutes a night, at least. Even if you don't have any homework for the class, your test is for a good 2-3 weeks, study 30 minutes a night. Now, for your Easy A classes, I'm going to say study 15 minutes, because, you'd be inclined to not study at all for your Easy A classes. But I would say still study, because there is nothing like your Easy A classes becoming a B because you didn't do the homework or you didn't study. That's another thing. Your homework, for me, it took a while to adjust, because a lot of my homework was online and I would forget to check for some homework, and then I would get a notification and they'd be like, oh, you have a 0 for this, and I was like, what? The teacher didn't even say anything about it. And they don't say anything about it sometimes because they just expect you to automatically know, okay, I need to check this every day. I need to go on Canvas and check every day. Another thing that'll be to your benefit is figuring out how your school's, access portal work. For the school I go to, it was Canvas, and I didn't know how to work Canvas. So the first few weeks, I was struggling. I would either call somebody, be like, hey, how you do this? Or I just didn't get it done because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. So that would definitely be to a benefit to you. Another thing, you need to check your email every day. Every day. Check it every day. Because sometimes teachers or professors, I should call them professors, don't call them teacher, they'll offer extra credit, or they'll, send a reminder through an email or whatever, and if you don't check it, you might miss out on it, or you might miss out on assignments or whatever. Next is go to office hours with the professor. Be in your professor's face. I'm just kidding. Don't be all up in their face. And don't wait till the end of the semester to go to office hours either, because then they're going to know, oh, they're just trying to use me to get me to bump up their scores. But if you go, like, in the beginning, and you go, not constantly, but, once a week or once every 2 weeks, they'll, you'll begin to build a relationship with them. And, sometimes you don't even have to have something to need them to explain or point out. Sometimes you go off subject and you're like, oh, do you watch The Office? And have a little friendship there. And the more your professor likes you, the more likely they are to, bump it up. Because I had a professor, he loved me. And because we both watched The Office, so he got a lot of the references I would make sometimes. And towards the end of the semester, I had a B in the class, and I was like, Professor Heck, that was his name. Professor Heck, my main man, can you please bump this up to an A? And because, I would go to extra credit things, and in class I would pay attention and, answer questions. And he noticed that. He's like, you know what, you're a good student, you do your work, you participate in class. And I noticed that. So he did bump it up to an A. Not only did he bump it up to an A, he bumped it up to a 95, an A+, okay? That's what office hours can do for you. That's what building a relationship with your teacher can do to you. And I'm not saying kiss, be a little kiss ass or whatever. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is, have some type of something with your teacher. Going back to education. Another tip I want to leave is your library has a lot of resources that can help you with subjects you might not understand. So your professor is no good at explaining. You can always go to the library, because I know my college has, study buddies, they have tutors, and they have a writing center if you're not good at writing, and all this other great, resources to help you, do really good in your classes. So that's always an opportunity, just take advantage of the opportunities that are around campus. You're already paying for them, so you might as well use them. Don't just go struggling and getting a D in a class where you could have, gone and got tutoring or gotten help and ended up with a B or better. Don't have too much pride to ask for help if you don't understand something. That's another thing. In class, raise your hand. If a professor's going too fast, be like, hey, can you go back at this? Now, if he, acts a little pissy about it, then, just hopefully get the notes from somebody else. But, put your, don't be ashamed to ask for help, or don't be ashamed to say, I don't understand this. Because to be honest, 9 times out of 10, somebody else doesn't understand either. So, yeah, you want to make sure you get that A or that B. So, you got to do what you got to do. And if the professor don't like it, tough. Just kidding. Just go get help somewhere else. So, yeah, that's what I would advise. Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning into my video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.